Good morning. It's Friday and the last day of July 2020. At this filming, it's 69 degrees with a light north wind and a forecast high of 81 degrees today. I hope it's a beautiful day from wherever you would be listening. Today we are hearing from my teammate in Lubbock, Texas, Shane Ballou. Shane is going to provide a harvest report from Southeast Texas and a cotton update from West Texas.
Hey everybody, this is Shane Ballou for Bayer. I'm the top producer account manager here in Texas, and Dean Krug had asked me to give you a video update with regard to how things are progressing in our state with regard to our crops. And I really break the state down into two geographies, the coastal bend of Texas and then the upper panhandle of Texas. That's where the majority of my accounts lie, in those two geographies, and they're really like two completely different worlds. So the coastal bend of Texas, dryland market, and it always amazes me how quickly or how far ahead they are with regard to their crop production as the rest of my geography in the Midwest. So they're actually wrapping up harvest on corn right now. This is July 28th. They're probably completely done by now, and the reviews have been pretty good. 150 bushel yields in that geography is pretty solid, and that's the number I'm hearing fairly often as I talk to folks down in that area. Their cotton crop is also very positive down there. They much like the rest of what you have experienced, they had some timely rains there about mid to late season that really boosted their yields on both corn and cotton. Cotton's still probably a month out from harvest. With regard to the upper panhandle, we've had a really hard start to early July, mid-July, very high winds, very high temperatures. I'm sure you experienced the same, and that was, in that deficit irrigation market, that is very difficult growing conditions, obviously. But in the last probably 10 days, we've had much cooler temperatures and actually some rain. And so that, I was talking to a producer last week up there, and he said, boy, that really saved us, because just trying to keep a crop cool and irrigated in 30-mile-an-hour winds and 105-degree temperatures, that's just a very difficult proposition. So talking to the same producer this morning, everybody's very encouraged by the cooler temps and even some humidity in the air. And again, some rains that are coming across most every evening now, so that's helping quite a bit. And then finally, I'd tell you that the dryland cotton crop in the upper panhandle is actually a little bit more. There's more acreage out there than I realized. With all the high winds and heat that we had very early in the season, I really didn't expect much to any dryland cotton. But there is actually probably 30% of that dryland crop out there. So those guys are pretty cautiously optimistic about their dryland opportunities with cotton as well. So in general, the summary is the last 2 weeks have really improved our outlook for both corn and cotton in the upper panhandle. Hope this finds you well. Talk to you soon.
Thanks, Shane. We appreciate the report. This week's USDA corn condition report of acres rated good to excellent increased by another 3 percentage points to 72% in the good to excellent category. Only Iowa and Kentucky lost ground from the previous week. Illinois increased by 11 percentage points. Iowa has some pockets of dryness in the southwest and northwest corners. Here in the Missouri River Valley near Kansas City, we are nearing 10 inches of rain for the month of July. The next 30-day temperature forecast for the western Corn Belt is below average, suggesting we will have a long, slow fill period for the corn crop. Kevin Van Trump provided these graphics this week showing the 10-year rolling corn yield average by state. The size of the box in each graphic represents the volume of corn or soybeans grown in that state relative to all the others. It's not hard to understand how we might get to 180 plus bushel corn crop when the top 4 volume states are nearly there in the 10-year average. Finally, shortly after I sent out last week's text, I received several pictures from Robin Roth with Ark Farms northwest of Ray, Colorado. Robin shared several rain gauges from the previous night that held more than 5 inches of rain. When I asked when he had last experienced this type of rain event, he answered, never. Almost half his yearly average in a single event. There were reports of as much as 8 inches in and around the Ray, Colorado area, a small town in the Republican River Valley on the edge of the desert in far eastern Colorado. Next week, we'll begin to focus more on the soybean crop and have a report from the Upper Delta region by my teammate Bradley Jackson. Until that time, stay safe.